It's pushing the water, and there's a jogger, actually. Look at this.
I should have stopped this night with you, bud. I'm stopping this one now.
Don't, okay? Let me finish. I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
It's the what if I can pull off a miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's event.
Pressure changes everything, pressure. Some people, you squeeze them, they focus. Others fold. Can you summon your talent at will? Can you deliver on a deadline? You will sleep at night.
David Goggins, he wrote me, be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
Kill the boy, Jon Snow. Kill the boy. And let the man be born.
Out of the 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 of them are just targets. 10 do most of, or 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. And it's a true quote to life. I saw it going through training. I saw it everywhere I went. There's so many people who just show up to life that shouldn't even be around. And there's few people who do all the work. I wanted to be part of that 9, and I'm working towards being that 1. Right now in life, your family's looking for that one guy right now. They're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around and find you. These are the times right now for you to step up. Be that guy that can take anything.
You see that look right there? Don't ever let a man see you like that. Cause you give him the power over you. If you gotta take an L, you take it with your head up, chest out, like a man.
Dr. Carter had a tear in his eye. I could tell he felt for me. Then he said, son, I'm sorry to say you're not gonna box again. And I looked at him. I said, no, Dr. Carter, you're wrong. I am gonna box again. He said, you don't understand what kind of man I am.
You're a man. You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions. Make the sacrifices. Make the unpopular decisions. And become comfortable in your own skin. And if you are not a person that you are comfortable being alone with, that is the one person in this universe that you have full power, full right, and full responsibility to change.
If you had to create a human, what would you put them through to make them tough? It probably wouldn't be a really chill life. What would you put them through to make them patient? You probably wouldn't give them things immediately. And so it's like we want these traits, but each of the traits has a price tag attached to it. And it's just like, do you want to pay the price tag to get the thing? And so I think if people reframed the period of life that they're going through as the price that they're paying out of their wallet, but the wallet is their time, is the seconds of life that they're trading for it, then I think more people would be willing to make the trade. Because at least when I look at myself, like when I'm 80 something years old and I'm looking back on my life, I want to have these traits. But in order to have those traits, I know I have to go through these things. And I think for me, that's given me a lot of comfort in hard times.
Everything counts. Everything that you do counts. The biggest mistake that people make is they think that only what they want to count counts. No. When you read a book, when you listen to an audio program, when you go to a course, when you go to bed early and get up early and you work, it all counts. And it's all going on the plus side of your ledger.
It's the moments in life, the decisions you make on a moment-to-moment basis that add up to be the guy or not the guy. Tonight, I did something, that I feel more of a guy. For me, who I am, my guy.
Partying is weakness for the soul, my friend, so I try and avoid it.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or? Still to be happy about.
You're up too old.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
So the goal was to be the first one at breakfast. So I set my alarm. I make sure I'm up by sunrise. I get out of bed. I put on my gear and I head downstairs. But when I get there, Kobe's already there with ice packs on his knees, drenched in sweat. Now, it took me a minute to figure it out, but this guy wasn't only awake before me. He had already worked out. He had just played in the finals days earlier. Meanwhile, I'd been off for months and I was still exhausted. What he had done that morning was incomprehensible to me. That dedication he had only days after falling short of an NBA championship. That taught me something I've never forgotten. Legends aren't defined by their successes. They're defined by how they bounce back from their failures. And that's what I hope to communicate to anyone watching this.
I heard a quote one time from Vincent van Gogh that really rang true. He said, he has dedicated his life to his art and he has lost his mind in the process. When I sat and I thought about that, it sounded very familiar. I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind, but in a good way, to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m. They would look at me and say, I've lost my mind, but me, I have found it almost.
I've got a good question for you. Why not you? You've got the brains, you can make decisions, you can study the plan, you can change your life, you can grow immensely in the next few years, you can make your dreams come true, you can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through, you can become healthy, you can become powerful. Why not you?
Impossible is nothing to somebody that tries. Everything that someone said was impossible has happened.
Yeah, there's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person.
Oh, let's do a what if. What if what? What if you lose? I don't even feel, I can't, my consciousness don't even elevate that thought.
Therefore, if it happens, you'd be distraught, crazed, what?
It's not my nature to allow that to happen.
Sometimes life can really hijack your mind. When that happens to you, you're all up. Your goals, your ambitions, everything is out the window. In life, we all go through different things. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the over it. They no longer want you. Maybe you failed a test in school. You worked your off. Guess what? You failed the test. Get over it. Move past it. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. At work, you've been working your ass off for that new promotion. You don't get it. Someone else does. Maybe they kiss better ass than you do. Guess what? Get over it. Life will hijack your mind if you let it. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours. Get after it. Stay hard.
You better make sure in the next season of your life that the person who walked away from you know what they're missing. You better do something with your life. Did you look at me? You better do something so strong and so big with your life that they have to sit on the couch and say, that's the one that got by. Man, I should have just stayed in there a little bit longer. I should have been a little more patient. I should have prayed a little bit harder. Do something with your life that makes them regret turning you away and turning you over. That means getting better and not bitter.
The thing I would say is, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. and you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use.
And George Foreman admits that he gave Muhammad Ali everything he had, and Muhammad Ali grabbed him and pulled him to him. Old man hadn't fought in years, hurt. And Muhammad Ali pulled him to him and said, "Is that all you got?" And George Foreman said when he heard the words, "Is that all you got?" it penetrated his spirit. And said, "I done gave my man everything I got. I can't see him to knock him down." And Muhammad Ali said when he said that to him, he looked into the pupils of his eyes, and he said at that point he knew George Foreman had lost.
You know, basketball for me was the most important thing. So everything I saw, whether it was TV shows, whether it was books I read, people I talked to, everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
The world becomes your library to help you improve your craft, better your craft.
Yes, indeed.
So because you know what you want, the world's giving you exactly the information you need to become better at it.
Because you know what you're looking for.
You on that winter arc. I go, I'm on that 365. It's not an arc, it's a circle. It's a circle that keeps going around and round and round. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Love yourself enough to stay motivated. 365 arc. Do a circle. Stay hard.
You know, there comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're going to become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove. Where being mediocre, being like average and just burns it so much. You can't deal with it one more day, and you get off your and you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out, but you've never wanted to unwrap it because there's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were going to fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success, remind you of what you could have been. And then the spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never going to be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. That can happen at an early age, it can happen at a later age. It's going to happen to somebody no matter what, it's going to happen to you. And when it does happen to you, thank your lucky stars that finally you're alive. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. Superior, man. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they're willing to work their to get it. It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about the genetics. It wasn't about the perseverance. And it wasn't about being the hardest worker in the room.
Sometimes you have to go beyond what you're feeling. You know, okay, this hurts, that hurts. We can just sit down and do nothing. Or we can see how far we can push the human body.
The highest level winners do what?
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every single one of them. Think about it. Really was. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up. Every single day, your mind is one that tells you, get up. And your feelings like, an extra 30 minutes, just don't worry about it.
What's the central part of your training? Is it running? Is it sparring? Or
central part is dodging the nightclubs and the parties and the girls. You know the truth? And being in the bed by yourself at 9 o'clock at night. And if you can get by that, you'll make it. No, that's the truth. Now, I tell you the truth.
man, if I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta do the extra work, and I gotta show up when other guys aren't, and I've got to learn, I've got to continue to be open to learning.
The message I try to deliver to people is play to win. Don't play to avoid loss, because the things you fear, the things that's going to happen to you. Set that target on something positive. Work for it. Expect it. Get serious. You've really got to get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. What do you want to do economically? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to share? How much would you like to earn? How far would you like to go? Those are some major questions to ask. Personal development is striving hard to become the kind of person that you want to be. And to become the kind of person you want to be, you've got to work at it. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? What are you becoming? And if you go to work on it now, sure enough, in a very short period of time, you can take on a new direction to become the kind of person you want to be.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question. And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
Is there any limit to your ambition?
No.
Or any limit to what you think you can achieve?
No. Because I think right now, if I was to quit rapping and I said I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I could do anything.
Let me leave you with some words from Muhammad Ali. Impossible. It's just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in a world that they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare.
2 forms of pain. Pain that breaks you and the pain that changes you. That's the pain of a change right there. That's the pain of progress. The pain that destroys you isn't this. It's later in life knowing you could have been more. And all that's left is you and the mirror and tears of a possibility left that you allowed to die. Own your life, guys. You get every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room. And all your endeavors, schoolwork, the gym, your career, your relationship, your needs attached to it. It's gotta mean more than anything.
Yeah, I go to sleep, I wake up, I work, go to sleep, wake up, work, do that 7 days a week.
Yeah, I don't quit. You know, I may not make it the first time, but I'll come back. I gotta get my head back in the game. I gotta figure this out. It doesn't mean you leave. It means you study it more. It means you study it more. And whenever I fail at something, people always say, man, how do you handle failure, man? But I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. I don't look at anything as failure. Not trying is failure.
I will never quit, because if you quit, you're done. You may still be alive walking around on this earth. You're done. I will never quit. I will persevere and I will thrive on adversity. My team expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than our opponents. I hold myself to that standard.
People don't see that, and people will never understand that to be success. You know, all they think about, well, he batted 202, you know, and he struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. You know, but the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything, you know. So that's the things that my father and my mother instilled in me. Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail.
The unfulfilled potential is the story of most people's lives.
It is. It is. And it could have been the story of mine. And I tell a lot of people go, what's your biggest fear in life? And my biggest fear, honestly, was, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be.
I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, you know, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but you know, if you live your life to just get better every single day, you do that for 20 years, I mean, what do you have?
My personal goal was to squeeze every ounce of potential out of whatever I have. And I think that if you feel like you have potential left over, then it will eat you alive until you do something about it. Almost every successful person that I have ever encountered has gone through not a month or a year, but many years of doing work without reward, where they have to do things that other people find boring, and they have to sacrifice things that everyone finds interesting, that most people want to do during that entire season of their life. And they basically sacrifice a season of other things that they would prefer to do stuff that they would not prefer to do because of the one thing they want most.
Why? We all ask why we should work this hard. Why take that many classes? Why go to school that many years? You know, why take the notes? Why read the books? Why work that hard? Why put yourself through the push-ups and the disciplines? Why? Good question, why? Best answer to why, I think, is the second question. Why not? Why not see how many books you can read, how many classes you can take, how many skills you can develop? Why not see how valuable you can become to the marketplace and to your friends and to your family? Why not see what you can make of yourself? Why not see how far you can go, how much you can see, how much you can earn, how much you can share? Why not? That's the heritage all of us have, in America especially, is to see what we can make out of our lives now that we've been given this extraordinary opportunity.
Just be the best version of yourself in anything that you do. You don't have to live anybody else's story. Sometimes people make it seem like you have to have certain prerequisites or a crazy life story in order to be successful in this world. But the truth is, you really don't. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you have or don't have, what you lack, what you have too much of. But all you need to have is faith in God, an undying passion for what you do or what you choose to do in this life, and a relentless drive and the will to do whatever it takes to be successful and whatever you put your mind to. Make sure you live in the moment and work your every single day.
Everybody's asleep, man, or they're just getting home after a long night. You know, going out there partying. It's Friday night. It's close to 3 in the morning right now. You know, the thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day that, I mean, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, you know, achieve your dreams. That's not always open, man.
Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride, like, wow, my dad was a bad man. He really did what he had to do. I love a success story, but even more than a success story, I like a dude who his life up and then gets it back together again story.
Whoever's listening to this, if you wrote a book right now about your life and you gave it to someone, would it change their life for the better? If not, yeah, get to work.
If you go visit the darkness that you've been running from, you'll have the opportunity to leave a better person. You'll have a better understanding of yourself. You'll have a better understanding of your purpose. But if you don't take that trip and the darkness comes visit you, it's a guest that will never leave.
Bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without the bad days, the story would be way more lame. There would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
It happens like this. You work, nothing happens. You work, you watch some people fall off, nothing happens. It's hard, difficult, and lonely. You work, still nothing happens. And then for the people that persist and last the test of time, that overcome the adversity, that continue to do the personal development work and continue to put pressure and march forward under any and all circumstances, it happens like this. It's hockey stick growth. You just take off.
I'm not good enough, smart enough. I'm not talented enough. Some people are. Some people can start at 1. Some people don't have to start at all. If you lack talent, you can't sit back and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that. I gotta start now. And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And then when I get done with that run or that study session, if it wasn't good enough, I gotta go back again. So you can honestly outwork anything.
I never looked at things as problems. I look at them as opportunities. Maybe that's something I can say. You know, someone, well, she did this, and well, what an opportunity you have. Yeah, well, the world, you know, because they said this and Shannon said that. Yeah, well, what an opportunity you have to make a difference.
Anything in life that you put your mind to, you can do. The world is your oyster. Only thing promised is death. So basically, life is like a game. So you have to play the game the way you want to play it.
Rest at the end, not in the middle. And that's something I always live by. You know, I'm not going to rest. I'm going to keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. But I'm just going to keep going.
The mindset of a winner, which is a winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances. A winner shows up 10x times more than the average person. A winner has these unreasonable expectations of himself. A winner knows that he's destined for greatness. And no matter how many people around him tell him to slow down, be careful, watch out, that's too risky, you don't have the genetics, the DNA, the money, the mind, the brain power for that. A winner locks onto their goals and keeps going.
This is yours. You're the captain, you're the master, you're the foreman, you're the general, you're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody.
I dare you to stop f***ing around and dedicate the next 6 months of your life exclusively to your goals and your goals only. Don't announce it to anyone. Don't tell people on Instagram about it. Don't tell anybody. Just disappear, do the work, and reemerge in 6 months a different person.
It's 1 a.m. I'm going for my 3rd workout. Do I want to go to the gym? Absolutely not. I'd rather, lay in my house and sit in the movie theater and watch movies. But, to be the best, you got to work overtime. To be the best, you got to work overtime.
The winners always show up. They're willing to lose in order to gain. Big mental thing there, guys. This body, as great as you are, as sharp as you make the arsenal, it can't do anything if you don't have confidence in yourself. We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. When you guys find a fear, that fear will either create you or destroy you. I love fear. The reason why? Behind every fear is a person you want to be. Fear is self-imposed, meaning it doesn't exist. You create it, you can destroy it too. It's an intangible. If you face your fears, guys, you will realize it's not that big. And once you face it, you go, oh my God, man, I spent all this time running from it. It was so small. If I just faced it, my God, not only did I face it, I beat it back, energy is never lost, transferred. That negative energy, that fear, is destroyed. It comes back in as confidence. You're like, what else am I capable of? What else am I holding my back from that I'm capable of more? What am I running from I don't need to? What else can I overcome? You face your fears, you become the person you want to be. You run from your fears, you're not living. You're alive, but you're not taking it into freedom. You're not running the day. The day's running you. You always be the servant, not the master, guys.
There's no perfect way to live your 20s. You either live them up and become an underskilled 30-year-old, or you work them up and become an underlived 30-year-old. You just have to figure out which you'd rather be, accept the trade-offs, and know that there are no do-overs.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard,
Those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
All this pain right now, all worthwhile. The thing about pain is, like, you feel it right now, it's temporary, man. But later in life, you don't remember the pain. You just remember, like, the glory and the good time. 'Cause I was going to West Point, you know, in Ranger School. Man, there was some really dark hours, dark days, and dark years of my life, man. But looking back on it, I mean, I just remember the good people and the good times. I don't remember all those, you know, times where I was just so done and worn out. I don't remember that. I just remember that I made it through it. You know, and that exhilaration of pride and achievement, man, that outweighs all the pain, struggle, you know, and that sweat equity to get there. It really does, as long as you get there. That's why when they say pain is temporary, pride's forever, that's what they're talking about. Because if you push through the pain to achieve the pride, you forget about the pain was ever even there. But if you can't push through the pain and the pain stops you and breaks you down, well, then that pain is forever. Because you never got pride to outbalance it, man. Going through this, man, you start feeling the pain, it's all good, man. Welcome it. Welcome it, man. But right past pain, it's forever pride, man.
I'm here with Mike Tyson in the ring. Mike, tell us what's going on.
As I said before, if we fight in the markets of Queensbury, I'd love to fight them. Tonight.
Listen up here.
Hey.
They may call you Kid Dynamite. You mess with me, I'll put your fuse out.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. But I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
What are you saying now, Mike? Mike?
This man is gonna learn that if you disrespect a person's kindness and take it as a weakness, you must pay. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm gonna smash your boy.
I was preparing for war, you know. I come inside the cage, I fight with this guy, and he tap. I'm like, why I come here?
Maybe it was your time to lose. You didn't think so.
Lose? I don't lose! I win! I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
I leave everything I have. My mom take care of me and my two brothers alone, you know. Now, Dad, you proud of me, Dad. You proud of me.
Get it, 17. You don't know me, son. Get it, 18. You don't know me, son. Get it, 19. You don't know me, son. Yeah. Come on, 23. Come on, 24. One more, David. Who's one more? Carry the boats. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
You're a man. You are a man. Stand up and be a man.
No. Yo, my friend, what you're gonna do now is you're gonna get up. We're gonna finish. We're gonna finish this thing, you hear me? So I need you to get up! Get up, my friend! Get up! Get up! Get up, my friend, right now! We're gonna finish this! We're gonna win! We're gonna make it through! We're gonna push, my friend! So get up!
It's time to stay focused. It's time to decide clubs, partying, but trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird.
There is nothing you can do
to stop me from coming at you round after round with the most malicious techniques I know. You will lose this fight, Daniel Cormier. I want you to believe it. Every ounce of training you put in leading up to this fight will be a waste of your life.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, and maybe not the next month. Only one thing is true. I will be champion one day, I promise. I promise. Just do.
Well, everybody, it's Groundhog's Day again for David Goggins. If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's not a car or a person in sight. If you pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. Stay hard.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
It's pushing the water, and there's a jogger, actually. Look at this. Wow. The Florida man right there for you, Blake, jogging in the hurricane.
I've trained 99% of my life alone. No one pat me on the back. I did all of the work alone. You had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no team. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom.
Let's stop this thing.
No, I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
When you're built different than everybody else and you have this desire for more and this desire for achievement and this desire to win, everybody else looks at you like up.
In the end, I don't care whether you love me or you hate me, just as long as I win.
This is my life, man. Do you know how hard I worked to get here? I built this shit. Me! Brick by brick!
I fought for it because no one gave it to me, because it was just me alone in the gym, me alone in the mirror, me alone in my head. No one did it for me. I worked for it, and I'm never going to let someone else take that from me.
Listen up. Today isn't just another day. It's a chance to break limits. Stop waiting for permission. Stop second-guessing yourself. The opportunity is right in front of you. Take it, own it, and don't look back. Because legends are built, one bold move at a time.
What no one else does. Run 3 o'clock in the morning because no one else is running 3 o'clock in the morning. If they're training 3 hours, you train 4 hours. You train when the gym is closed. You know, whenever the gym is closed and you already trained, you train again. You know, you have to do what no one else is doing. You know, when they're sleeping, you're running, you're working out.
And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero.
If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a mother that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger.
There's certain good things about being alone. You have time to do the things you want to do, like study and plan.
The superpower of learning to be alone and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's critical, and I do think that these times where you just think about things, just be alone and think about things, are so rare these days. And I think during those rare times is when you really get to understand what you actually believe or don't believe.
You go higher, you go even more alone. Why? Because nobody is willing anymore to invest their energy in going higher, because it's becoming more difficult. Along this way, the higher you want to go, the more likely you're gonna walk alone.
That's why has helped me coming out here and being locked in an apartment on my own, because there was no outsiders. It was isolation, it was visualization, it was motivation, and it was dedication. There was nothing else going on in my life, you know what I mean?
And you don't like people too, right?
I mean, it's not that I don't like people, it's just that to get to the level, to get to the pinnacle, it needs to be like that. It needs to be no outsiders. It needs to be, you need to have your team and your focus, and that's it. I don't need friends.
Believe in yourself. Don't fear failure. Dream big. Work hard. Stay positive. Enjoy the journey.
There is a period in everybody's journey where they are so different because they've started to do new things that they no longer fit in with their old set of friends. But they're not sufficiently developed that they've gained their new set of friends. And they're unsure. Should I go back? Should I lean back into getting a bag in with the boys on a weekend? Is that the highest, way that I can live my life passion forward? Because that's what everybody else does. And all of my friends are taking the piss. Oh, not drinking again. Too good for us, are we? Not going out again this week. Oh, okay, well, enjoy staying in home and reading. Nerd. So you're going to feel the pain of being ostracized from the group of friends that you used to have. But you're stuck in this messy middle where you haven't yet worked out who you are on the other side of this. And that lonely chapter that's in the middle is something that I would say almost nobody that I've ever met who has gone from a place where they are to a place where they want to be hasn't gone through.
It is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. But understand this, life is hard.
The only thing that you can do is win so big that all of them constantly compare themselves to you, and then you'll forget they exist. Success is the only revenge. It's not the best revenge, it's the only one. There's no other revenge. It feels so painful because you look around to see who can help you, and then you're like, it's me again.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
They say, oh, it's already okay here. Why you still want to move up there? The air is getting thinner over there. It's getting more hard to breathe. It's getting more dangerous, whatever. So that means along the way to mastery, you walk the way alone.
And if you think about the difference between winners and losers, winners define themselves by what they made happen, and losers define themselves by what happened to them.
I really don't have regrets. I am a person that says, as soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. Disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have for being who I am.
Who am I? I found out through this path of life, who is David Goggins? So going through I did it alone. There was no trophy on the wall, on the mantle. That trophy's in my brain. No one helped me get there. No one paid my bills. No one did for me. No one ran those miles, lost that Look, I suffered on my own and developed this man who said, it's who I am, man.
That's important, man. And most people struggle their whole life to find out who they are. Struggle their whole life to find out what defines them, what they actually enjoy and what they don't.
You start putting yourself in situations that suck, you'll find yourself. It's the only way to find yourself.
And I promise you, every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through. And it's the lonely chapter. It's the chapter where you don't fit in with your own friends, but you don't have the outcomes yet to fit into a new group of friends. And you're doing this thing, you're consuming content on the internet, you're doing these free tutorials online to try and figure out how to set up a podcast and where do I host this thing? And then you're going through this and you're like, is this even worth it? Because you have no signs of success, right? But if there's anything that you can take away from what we're saying right now, is that the sign of success is the hate that you get along the way. And what you can't do is bend the knee to their hate and fit back into the conformity because it's comfortable and it's warm. Because like in the Matrix, when Trinity opens the door, when Neo's about to go take the red pill and he wants to get out of the car, she says, Neo, you've been down that road and you know exactly where it leads. And I know that's not where you want to be. And then he closes the door. Like right now, this moment that you're going through is Trinity opening the door and being like, you could go back, but then you'd have to remember exactly what the reason was that you decided not to go out to begin with, just because you listen to this podcast and you consume this content, you're like, I can do more than this. Like, because you are starting to live in some of that hell where you look in the mirror and you're like, I can do more. And you start to see the person that you could be. And you're like, this does start to feel like hell.
I wanted to read you a quote from 2013 that you said.
I've lost my mind on this game, yeah? Like Vincent van Gogh. He dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me. But when that gold belt was around my waist, when my mother has a big mansion, my girlfriend has a different car for every day of the week, when my kids have everything they ever want, then it will pay. Then I'm happy I lost my mind. Yeah.
Can you just reflect and talk to me about how that makes you feel hearing that?
You know, it's been some ride. I've got it done and I'm up here. I've been through it all, my friend. You know, it's been a wild ride for me. It's not been easy at times, but what a life.
Last but not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for trying to do more.
You know, if you're going to create anything of value in this life, you're going to, even if it's with other people, you're going to have to be willing to be on your own for a bit, to forage on your own, to take walks alone, and then return to people, to your tribe, so to speak, and share with them what you've learned, or maybe even just show up with whatever energy shift has occurred while you were off.
Everybody, when I was sleeping on the gym floor, right? Like, you know, I was the underdog, and everyone, you know, my clients were all like, "Oh, good for you. You know, you're going after your dream." And they'd see my blanket and my pillow in the corner of the gym, and they knew I was sleeping there, and it was evident. You know, I lived there. I didn't have a shower. Didn't have a shower to go to the YMCA to go shower. And that everybody was like pro me, and then people would come in, they sign up like, I'm gonna support you, right? And then within 9 months, I had hired people and I had a manager, and I pulled up, and I remember I walked in the lobby, and all the same people were like, "Oh, boss man's here. Oh, you're not too good for us now, right?" And I remember being so jarred by the experience, and I was like, "You guys rooted for me," and I was like, "And now I did what you said you were rooting for me to do." And that was when I realized that people want you to do well, but not better than them.
There's no luck in this game, man. It may be a little bit of luck, but the luck happens after you bust your ass and you put yourself in that lucky situation. Luck doesn't happen. You put yourself in that situation where luck might happen. And that's what people don't know. But to get there, luck ain't gonna happen. You have to put yourself in that situation, man. It takes a lot of work.
I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're sad. I don't care if you're sleepy, if it's raining, if the markets are crashing, if the sky is falling, if your girlfriend just broke up with you, you're gonna get it done, no matter what. This is the level of discipline that I'm expecting from you.
You think you become a champion on the field? You don't. You become a champion when ain't nobody watching you. You're doing your own drills and your own way. You're doing what coach tell you to do, and you're doing your own stuff.
When you said, I'm all in, were you really all in? Let me tell you what the cost of being all in is. Early mornings, late nights, being misunderstood, having very few friends, being your own cheerleader. Are you those things? People always talk about, man, I'm a hard worker. Everybody in this room is a hard worker. That's not going to separate you from anybody else. What are you working hard on? People always look for one thing for the other. Oh, you got to work, you got to work smarter and not harder. No, you got to work smarter and you got to work harder.
There's times where you can go without your friends, you can go without going out, you can go without other people around you. You have to separate yourself from the pack. You have to be willing to spend time with yourself. You have to be willing to start cutting things out of your nutritional program. Eat healthy, get enough rest, get enough sleep. All of these things come into play of finding your purpose. And it's almost sacrificing. You have to sacrifice. Greater the sacrifice, greater the reward. This is so true. And when you do these things, you'll start seeing that, okay, well, I used to do this. And when you go out and you don't do it anymore, it's very, very clear that you've made the right decision, because your friends will still be doing that. And you'll find yourself that you don't fit in with that crowd anymore. You just don't fit in. I got something to do. You'll start getting away from people that are negative. You only want to be around positive. You'll start not wasting your time on things that aren't productive. And you will start taking your time and energy and putting it into things that you enjoy doing that are productive for yourself.
Admit it, you aren't like them. You're not even close. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch the same mindless television shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems that the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider.
This isn't for the masses. This is for those who want to leave normal behind. Those who are in search of a new realm. It's a lonely journey. You're isolated. Those who used to keep pace with you will fall off. They'll see where their world ends and yours begins. Your ability to suffer, endure, outwork must be greater. You must be willing to extend yourself to the limit with no guarantee of success. Every day, you must ask yourself, did I do enough? Stay hard. The biggest thing you have to do is shut off technology. You have to go dark. What I mean by that is you have to be quiet in your mind. Get away from people. We love being around people. We love talking. We love parties. We love all that. It's okay to be alone. It's also okay to be unhappy. It's okay to be unhappy sometimes, man. It's okay to say, you know what, man, I'm up. So you gotta go to the truth first. Who are you? Get really accountable and say, okay, who am I? What's the truth about me? Get to that dark place in your mind. Figure out, it may take months, it may take years. Figure out your purpose. Figure out what you want to be in life. And then from there, okay, I have my purpose. It may take a long time. No one knows their purpose because it's too loud. Find your purpose. From there, all right, you gotta start planning. People love the planning phase because it's very comfortable. Then from the planning phase, you gotta go to execution. So the execution phase will we all hate, because that's where the real work begins, and that's when the failure happens, and the failure. So, but that's kind of how you have to do it.
Yeah. People want to find their passion, but you don't find it, you create it. And you create it by getting good at something. And to get good at stuff, you start by doing something you suck at. Then you get good, then you like it, then people ask how you found your passion. Answer, by starting when you sucked and not giving up.
You fall into the trap of what is called Parkinson's Law. Now, Parkinson's Law says that work expands to fill the time allotted for it. That if you have 2 hours of work to do and 8 hours of time, you will stretch that work over 8 hours. Parkinson's Law also says that work contracts to fill the time allotted for it. If you have 8 hours of work to do, and because of an emergency you have to have it done in 2 hours, you will get it done in 2 hours. Highly effective people are always setting tight, stringent, disciplined deadlines on themselves so they get more work done in a short period of time rather than less work done in a long period of time. Does this make sense?
If you committed the next 365 days of your life to the persistent pursuit of your potential and you were grinding 24/7 and you didn't cheat yourself, imagine what you would become. You would become a ruthless killer. You would become such a G that nobody would say, nah, this person ain't doing it. You'd be undeniable. 365 days, if you committed to that, you would win.
But where do you go to? You wake up on a morning, it's cold, it's wet, it's dark, you've got no cartilage in your knee, it's warm on the couch, your missus says stay in bed, it's comfy, it's cozy, you've got work later on, you had an argument last night, you're slightly hungover.
God, I know every motherfucker ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. So this is how you level up. That's how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That makes me happy what you just said. That brings joy to my life right there.
Why?
Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. You talk about that you were kind of, lonely by yourself. I was the same way. And that used to hurt me growing up. Now I thrive in that. That's the only place to be.
And that's why when you think about the mentality of greatness, there are no breaks. I hate to tell people that, right? Because everybody wants it fast. To be great, Monday on top of Tuesday, Tuesday on top of Wednesday, Wednesday on top of Thursday, Thursday on top of Friday, Friday on top of Saturday, Saturday on top of Sunday. And start over. And start over. And true greatness is always evolving. It never stays the same. Your comfort zone will stay the same unless sometimes you're forced to come out of it. You will never touch a level of greatness until your comfort zone is disturbed.
The mentality is what's going to make things happen. Is having that mentality to never give up, keep pushing forward. People don't like to think, they like to ask. They don't have enough confidence in their decisions that they make on their own. The truth of the matter is, you really have to believe what you're doing is working.
There was a kid who everyone underestimated. Too small, too quiet, too ordinary. But every day while they laughed, he worked. In the gym, in the books, in the shadows. He knew one truth. Effort beats talent when talent doesn't try. Years later, they asked him how he did it, and he just smiled, because they never saw the grind. It's the quiet hustle that makes the loudest impact. How loud do you want your success to be?
My biggest fear in life is not reaching my full potential and not being the greatest I can be. Because everyone has a choice in life. Everyone has a choice of either this person up here or this person down here.
Hey, look, let me guess. New year, new you, right? New year, new you. You've been saying that every year, but it's always new year, same you. I just don't understand why you go every year remaining the same when the person that you are today has just been destroying your life. You're mentally killing yourself every year, and you don't even realize it. It's time for you to look yourself in the mirror and make some change before it's too late.
One day in the gym is basically imperceivable. 2 days in the gym, you don't recognize any change whatsoever. 100 days in the gym, and you're almost a new person. Right? You've seen those before and after pictures. One day of playing guitar. One day of playing guitar, you can barely play one chord. 100 days of practicing guitar, and you can play literally almost any song.
People only root for people who don't need it. Like the amount of times when I was on my lonely path where I was too different from the friends that I had, but not successful enough to be friends with the people that I wanted to be friends with. That's when you want people to root for you. That's when you want people to support you. Once you've already won, people are like, he's amazing, he's so good. But that's the time when you need it the least. And so you always have to be the person who roots for you before everyone else does. And it's usually a single clap in the auditorium for a very long period of time. It is a slow clap that's just you rooting for you. And that visual, I think, is one that you can kind of take. People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people.
Look at the past, look at who you've become, the progress that you've made. And if you haven't made a lot of progress, just be happy at the fact that you're f***ing alive, because you have the chance to make progress. And live in the present moment, here and now, and use your time, energy, and attention, my friend, to pursue your goal.
One of the most important things that I learned from my dad is that regardless of your circumstances, even if things are around you, you can change that by going to work.
Just wanted this so bad that I told the universe, excuse me, this is my destiny. I know it. And you know what? Because of that belief system, it happened. But you know what gives me strength? The fact that I was able to squat here and go to the point where I couldn't do 5 more, and I got 5 more, and then got even 5 more. It was always 5 more. The fact that I could do that gave me so much strength in life. I'm in total respect and honor of the squat rack forever. It's my altar. It's what taught me how to get there.
I used to care so much about what people thought of me when I was competing. I wanted to be the best, and I wanted everyone to know that I was the best. I had the biggest ego ever. Then I realized something, that it's not so healthy to think that way, because you cannot please everyone. There are always going to be haters. And to the scale of the universe, for the small time that I'm here in this world, it's better that I spend it with people that I care about and who care about me. I will have a better return on my investment. So for the New Year's resolution, think about it. Small thing that can change your entire world.
Time alone, again, will make you see, first of all, who God is. Second of all, who you are. And the third thing, it lets you see what will fit you. What's suitable for your life. Where is your sweet spot? What works for you? All right, guys, so that's my tip. And that's it. So stay focused. Don't be afraid to be by yourself and spend time alone. Okay?
The most important thing is the mentality. Self-talk positive. I think it's all the details depend on you.
I am cold. I am emotionless. I am zen, at peace, ready for war.
Everyone is jealous of what you've got. No one is jealous of how you got it. People see the trophies, but not the training ground.
Everybody wants the view, but no one wants the climb.
Now I'm going to repeat something which a clergyman perhaps shouldn't say, but nevertheless it's a fact, and it will cure many of you. You are not going to get anywhere in this world. You're not going to get anywhere financially, spiritually, socially, or otherwise until you get to that point where you don't give a damn about what other people think about you.
My philosophy is, why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, I'm the best. And that is not arrogance, that is confidence.
Dedication, hard work. Dedication, hard work. I'm a one-man army. One-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still come on top. I got God on my side.
My mind is absolutely bulletproof, solid as a rock. I am number one.
Kobe Bryant was not interested in winning championships. He was obsessed. And obsession comes in the small details that nobody pays attention to. And I have a saying, all right? Interested people watch obsessed people change the world.
Then there's the athletes who train to win. They train every day, every session, so that they win on match night. And then, I remember saying to Adam's group, there are just those very few players who train to dominate. They train so hard that winning is inevitable on race night. And Adam said, that clicked with me. I decided I was going to train to dominate. So he said, when I go into the Olympic final, I know I'm going to win.
When you ask me, like, why do you do it? It's because there's a possibility that you can, and that's enough. Like, I think I can do this if I know I can be something. And so, why would I not?
The best line I've ever heard in my life.
Sometimes when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but actually, you've been planted.
But here's what you should know about winning before you chase it. Winning's not loyal to you. It doesn't care about you. Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. And sometimes a guy doesn't outwork you and he still wins. It isn't fair, man. Sometimes there is no justice. Winning requires all of you and then more, and it promises you nothing. It's a mastermind of creating fear and doubt in your mind. It causes setback after setback. So the question is about winning. Are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown? And why chase this thing called winning? Because the only thing that's guaranteed in life, if you don't chase it, is losing.
Since with 11 years old, I always make pressure to me. Cristiano, you are the best player in the world. In my mind, I'm always thinking in that way. And I put a lot of pressure to myself. You have good sides when the things go good, okay? But when the things go wrong, you feel that too, because you make too much pressure to me. I make pressure to me. But I love that. I know to deal with that.
I hate losing. I mean, it's not even a question. But I have to respect losing, because losing is a part of winning. Yeah. You never just, win. You got to lose to win. Losing is going to hurt. Absolutely. To a point where you would look at, how can I do things different? How can I change? Before you can look at someone else, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, because that's how things get started.
Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it. And that's my personality. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become, because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
Do not give up. Do not feel like you're tired. When you tired, think of last year and think of that f***ing record. Every time I get tired or I think I can't go no more, I think of that f***ing record. We can make it. We gotta believe. We gotta be mentally strong. When we tired, that's when we gotta put our fundamentals together. That's when we gotta be more focused. When we tired, look across the field and see how tired they are. That should give you more effort. Be like, I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna get fundamentally strong. Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they tired. That's when the real champions come out. That's when that real dog come out.